Imagine you walk into a VW showroom in 2026. On one side, there's a compact electric SUV with a familiar badge and a brand new name, ID.Cross. On the other side, in the same group but with its own character, sits Škoda's Elroq, already on the road, already winning design awards and range battles. Today on AutoConcept, we're going to put these two cousins from the Volkswagen Group under the microscope and figure out which one really deserves your money, your wall box, and your next road trip. Welcome back to AutoConcept. My name is Brian, and in this episode we're going deep. Platform engineering, batteries, range, packaging, software, even towing capacities. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly where the VW ID.Cross and the Škoda Elroq overlap, where they're completely different, and which one fits which type of buyer. Let's start with the big picture. Both cars come from the same toolbox, VW Group's modular electric architecture. The ID.Cross is built on the newer MEB Plus evolution with front-wheel drive, designed to make compact EVs cheaper and more efficient, especially for the European market. Volkswagen openly calls the ID.Cross concept a Serie study, a near-production study that previews the compact electric SUV that will join the range from 2026 in the T-Cross class. Volkswagen Group Škoda's Elroq, on the other hand, is already a real production model, positioned just below the Enyaq as a compact all-electric SUV. It uses the familiar MEB architecture, but with the latest battery, charging, and software updates rolled in. Now, let's talk numbers, because that's where things get interesting. The ID.Cross is very compact, 4,161 millimeters long, 1,839 millimeters wide, and 588 millimeters high, with a wheelbase of 2,601 millimeters. Volkswagen Group that puts it squarely in urban SUV territory, basically electric T-Cross size. The Elroq is a size up, around 4.5 meters long, depending on version, so it sits in the same ballpark as a Karoq or a Tiguan Short. Škoda uses that extra length to deliver classic Simply Clever packaging, a big, flexible boot and lots of space for passengers and storage. Despite its smaller footprint, the ID.Cross plays a clever trick. The MEB Plus package turns it into what VW themselves call a Raumriese, a space giant. You get a 5-seater interior with an above-average boot, 450 liters behind the rear seats, plus an additional 25-liter frunk under the bonnet. That's impressive for something barely over 4.116 meters long. It's the classic EV advantage. Wheels pushed to the corners, flat floor, no transmission tunnel. The Elroq answers with a different philosophy. Instead of being as short as possible, it aims to be the most practical family EV in its class. Škoda markets it heavily on versatility and modern solid design. A robust, clean exterior with their new tech deck face at the front instead of a traditional grille. Inside, you get the typical Škoda approach. Large boot with flexible floor, split seats, loads of small storage compartments, and clever touches like mobile phone pockets in the seat backs and a sustainable ice scraper in the car. So while VW squeezes maximum space out of a small footprint, Škoda goes for a slightly bigger car to begin with and then optimizes every centimeter. Under the skin, the two cars are like two versions of the same idea. The ID.Cross uses the updated MEB Plus platform with a front-mounted electric motor integrated into the front axle system. VW quotes 155 kilowatts, that's 211 PS, sent exclusively to the front wheels. The WLTP range forecast is up to 420 kilometers, with a top speed of 175 kilometers per hour. That's enough power to feel lively in a compact SUV, and VW highlights that the motor and power electronics are made in Europe as part of their new strategy. Škoda, in contrast, gives you a whole buffet of powertrains on the Elroq. There's the Elroq 50, the entry version with a roughly 52 kilowatt-hour battery and 125 kilowatt of power. Then the Elroq 60 with a larger battery and about 63 kilowatt-hours nominal capacity. On top of that, you have the Elroq 85 and Elroq 85X, both with 82 kilowatt-hours of battery capacity, split across 12 modules in the floor. And finally, the Elroq RS Performance version using the same 82 kilowatt-hour pack. For the German market, Škoda quotes power outputs up to around 210 kilowatt for the top all-wheel drive variants, giving you a proper performance SUV if you need it. Range is where Škoda really leans into the long-legged brief. Official figures from Škoda Germany list the Elroq 50 at 350 to 377 kilometers WLTP, the Elroq 60 at 395 to 428 kilometers, the Elroq 85 at 532 to 503 kilometers, and the Elroq 85X at 503 to 540 kilometers. Even the Sportline and RS versions stay in that ballpark, with the Elroq RS still rated at 523 to 546 kilometers WLTP. In other words, if you want maximum highway range from these two, the Elroq clearly wins on pure distance. The ID.Cross fights back with efficiency in a smaller package. It has one motor and a single power level at launch, 155 kilowatt, and VW is still keeping the exact battery capacity under wraps, but they already commit officially to up to 420 kilometers WLTP. Because the car is physically smaller and lighter than an Elroq 85X, real-world efficiency has the potential to be excellent, especially in city and suburban use, which is exactly the environment VW says it's tuned for. Charging is another critical part of the story. On Elroq, Škoda is very explicit. The 82 kilowatt-hour pack in the 85 and 85X supports DC fast charging up to 175 kilowatts. With that, Škoda claims a 10 to 80% charge in about 28 minutes for the big battery and around 25 minutes or less for the smaller 50 and 60 packs, assuming a sufficiently powerful charger. AC charging is also well supported, with typical 11 kilowatt onboard capability in most markets, which means a full overnight recharge at a home wall box is no problem. Volkswagen hasn't yet published detailed charging curves for the ID.Cross, but because it shares the MEB Plus base and is meant to sit in the same affordable but usable space, we can reasonably expect DC fast charging in the 125 kilowatt region or above, and AC charging suitable for home and workplace wall boxes. What VW does emphasize officially is that MEB Plus brings improved batteries and software, which should translate into better charging performance and more stable charging speeds over time compared with the earliest MEB cars. Let's now look at how each car uses its platform in terms of dynamics and everyday usability. The ID.Cross is front-wheel drive only in this first stage, and VW clearly aims it at urban and suburban drivers. Tight parking spaces, narrow city streets, short to medium motorway hops. With a length of just over 4.16 meters, it's easier to park than most compact EVs. But thanks to the 2.60-meter wheelbase, it should still feel relatively stable on the highway. VW underlines that it sits on big 21-inch wheels with 235 40R21 tires on the Concept, which gives it a very planted stance visually and should support good grip, even if production versions will likely come with more sensible rim sizes as standard. The Elroq, by contrast, is much more of an all-rounder. You can have it as a simple rear-wheel drive family car in the 50, 60, or 85 versions, or as an all-wheel drive 85X or RS if you need traction on poor surfaces or just like that muscular EV shove. Škoda even points out that all-wheel drive is reserved for the largest 82 kilowatt-hour battery, which makes sense from a packaging and efficiency standpoint. The second motor adds weight and consumption, so it pairs best with the biggest energy buffer. This flexibility means the Elroq can cover a broader range of use cases: city commuter, long-distance family car, or even a quasi-GT in RS trim. Towing is another area where both cars have clearly been engineered with real life in mind. VW is unusually open about the ID.Cross's towing figures. The Concept is rated for up to 200 kilograms of braked trailer weight at an 8% gradient, with a nose weight of 75 kilograms, explicitly targeted at compact lifestyle caravans and 2 e-bikes on a hitch rack. Volkswagen Group, the Elroq, in line with other MEB SUVs, also offers decent towing capabilities, and Škoda markets it toward active families with bikes, roof boxes, and small trailers, though the exact max towing figures vary by variant and market. Okay, numbers done. Let's sit inside. The ID.Cross interior is VW's answer to the criticism of too much touch and too little feel in earlier ID models. The Concept already shows a new cockpit layout focused on intuitive operation, with 2 central displays on one visual axis, 11 inches for the digital instruments and 13 inches for the central infotainment touchscreen. You still have a modern, app-like user interface and natural voice control, but VW brings back clear physical buttons for key functions on the newly designed multifunction steering wheel and in the center console. They even emphasize Wohlfühl-Oase, a feel-good oasis, with soft materials, fabric-covered surfaces, ambient atmospheres for light, sound, and climate, and fun touches like real plants in the floating center console and seats that can fold flat into a lounge-like bed. The Elroq interior goes in a different, slightly more rational direction. It introduces Škoda's new modern solid design inside: clean, horizontal lines, robust shapes, and a very functional layout. You still get a large central infotainment display, 13 inches in many trims, a clear digital driver's display, and an optional head-up display, plus Škoda's LAMIB-based software platform with online services and over-the-air updates. Materials emphasize sustainability. Škoda talks about design selections with a high share of recycled and environmentally considerate fabrics, creating a warm, homely feel without going quite as lounge concept as the ID.Cross. And of course, you get the brand's famous clever details, from umbrellas in the doors to pockets, hooks, and modular boot solutions. On the technology side, there's a lot of convergence because both brands use group systems. Expect advanced driver assistance like adaptive cruise control, lane keeping, traffic jam assist, and automatic emergency braking in both cars. VW highlights that MEB Plus brings a whiter and fickler travel assist, an improved travel assist, to cars like the future ID.Cross, enabling more sophisticated assisted driving that was previously reserved for higher segments. Škoda, meanwhile, emphasizes Technik, die ihr Leben einfacher macht, technology that makes your life easier, with a full suite of assistance systems and connectivity features, including remote services through the Škoda app, online navigation, and extensive e-mobility tools like range and charging calculators. Where the cars really differentiate themselves is in character. The Volkswagen ID.Cross is the extrovert younger sibling, short, chunky, painted in a bold, urban jungle green, with a front end that literally smiles, in VW's own words, thanks to its three-dimensional light signature. It's meant to be approachable, iconic, and instantly recognizable, pulling design cues from the Golf and the classic VW bus, particularly in the C-pillar treatment and the very straight window line. It's the kind of car you buy if you live mostly in the city. You want a modern, playful electric VW, and you don't need massive cabin length, but you do care about style and a compact footprint. The Škoda Elroq is the grown-up all-rounder. Its modern solid design is less cute and more serious. Tech deck face instead of a grille, slim daylight running lights, clean surfaces, a slightly rugged stance. Škoda.de. It's been rewarded for that. The Elroq already holds a Red Dot Award for product design and has been named German Car of the Year 2026 in one of the categories. You buy an Elroq if you want maximum space for the money, serious range, especially in the 85 and 85X variants, and a car that feels like the electric equivalent of a well-sorted family SUV rather than a funky concept made real. So, which one should you choose? If you're watching this video a bit later, when the ID.Cross is already on the market, ask yourself 3 questions. First, how much space do you really need? If you often have adults in the back, long holidays with luggage, or kids plus bikes and camping gear, the Elroq's larger footprint, big boot, and long-range 82 kWh battery options make it the safer bet. Second, where do you drive most? If your life is 80% city, plus some ring road and weekend trips, the compact ID.Cross with its 420-kilometer WLTP target range and smaller footprint may actually feel more premium because you'll benefit from the easier parking and lighter, more agile feel every single day. Third, what's more important to you? Maximum range and flexibility, or a sharper price of entry and a slightly cooler, more experimental design? Technically, the Elroq is the more versatile and mature package right now. Multiple battery sizes from roughly 52 to 82 kilowatt hours, ranges up to around 570 kilometers WLTP, rear or all-wheel drive, fast charging up to 175 kilowatt DC, and a very practical interior full of clever details. The ID.Cross, meanwhile, is laser-focused. One powertrain, front-wheel drive, compact size, still respectable range, strong towing figures for its class, and a big emphasis on emotional design and a relaxed, lounge-like cabin on the MEB Plus platform. Here's my personal take for you, as an AutoConcept viewer. If you want an EV that feels like the logical next step from a combustion Karoq, Tiguan, or similar, something that just works for family life with as few compromises as possible, the Škoda Elroq, especially in 60 or 85 trim, is the safer recommendation. It gives you options, proper long-distance capability, and that typical Škoda practicality. If, on the other hand, you're maybe coming out of a Polo, a T-Cross, or even a Golf, and you want something that feels new, compact, and stylish, with the very latest VW design language and a strong focus on urban usability, then the VW ID.Cross is the one to wait for. But that's what I think. Now I want to hear from you. Would you go for the long-range, do-everything Elroq, or wait for the smaller, more playful ID.Cross? Tell me in the comments which one you'd put in your driveway and which powertrain you'd choose. 50, 60, 85 ADFX or 155 kilowatt VW front driver. If this deep dive comparison helped you, don't forget to subscribe to AutoConcept, leave a like, and share this video with someone who's currently shopping for an electric SUV. Thanks for watching, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.